Memento Mori Stories, a podcast that reminds us that we will die and that celebrates the deeply personal and sometimes whimsical ways we create to remember death and cherish life. How we bridge the gap, the sometimes deep, painful, and soul-searching gap between life and death. How we remember those we have loved, the things we keep, the phrases we use, the foods we prepare, the places we hold dear. This is your invitation to listen generously to one such story. A Memento Mori story.
When I was younger, elementary school years, my sisters and I would take turns. We would go in pairs. First, it was my older sister and me. Then it would be myself and my next sister in line. We would go and visit my grandparents. They lived in Florida in Delray Beach in an assisted living facility. And we'd spend a week with them. During the day, we would swim in the pool. I almost felt like my grandfather didn't belong there because he would, be doing somersaults and throwing me up in the air. And he actually taught me how to do a somersault in the pool. He had such a good sense of humor, and he would tell me who to talk to and who not to, like who was kind of cranky and to stay away from. Some of the people that were there, they saw a kid swimming in the pool. They were afraid they were going to get splashed or it was just too rowdy. We would go to the beach as well, and my older sister would tan very well. Me, not so much. My grandfather didn't realize that at first, how strong the sun was when we first went down there. But he had a timer, when those ones that you wind up. So I'll never forget, he would use this timer and he would say, 15 minutes, okay, turn over. And then, another 15 minutes, okay, turn over again. Even though it was a half hour, it didn't really work for me. So I went back to the place in the evening, and I was, so red. I was as red as a tomato. Of course, my grandparents felt awful about how sunburned I got, and I actually had, blisters on my nose. They would lather me up in Noxzema all over my face and my arms and my legs, and I would sit there with them because every evening we would play a card game, which was so much fun. It was called S.O.B, which means, son of a bitch. We just had a blast. We would play cards for maybe 4 hours. It was one of these card games that you keep score, and the person who has the most points wins. We'd have conversation as well as we were playing cards. It was just a really wonderful experience to have with my grandparents. I really enjoyed that time. I really got to know them. They got to know me. Good old-fashioned fun. The goal was to win, but there were never any arguments or, anybody leaving the table angry. It was all in good fun. So I would say I have very fond memories, and I miss them. It's like that time warp, where you feel like it was just like yesterday, but we're talking, 40 years ago now. And I have just very vivid memories of being at the beach and swimming in the pool and my grandfather doing flips and sitting around the table in the evenings until it seemed so late to me, but I'm sure it was probably 11:30, 12 that we would be out playing cards. And that was a big treat. So I was only 9 or 10. I'm looking forward to seeing them again, being with them. I know they're always with me too. I know, they're so dear to my heart. It was, to me, very, I want to say special, but I'd also want to say that it was unique because I felt like I had a very special connection, especially with my grandfather. And it was one of those moments that, you experience and you hold on to it, and it's so dear. It was a very endearing time with him that I just hold so close to my heart that I will never forget. It really is my grandfather that I really feel that with. I knew how much he loved me and how much he cared and how much he tried to make sure that we had a good time. And, you know, he was always very attentive to our feelings as well. And he knew if somebody was upset or if something happened. I have very fond, special memories.
Thanks for listening. Compassion and listening are so valuable in bringing healing to our lives after loss. So, how about you? Do you have a story about something that reminds you of a special someone, a beloved pet, an event, or a place that brings comfort? Please contact Memento Mori Stories through this podcast or our Facebook or Instagram pages. I would love to hear from you.